Live. Okay, so today, page 71. Page 71. Today is 9/28/18.
2019.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so today, listen up. 4 terms. When you see 4 terms, the first thing I want you to do is think about grouping, okay? We're going to pair them up. 4 terms, pair them up. I'm going to say it again. 4 terms, pair them up. So I'm going to put, on question number 2, I'm going to start with 2. I'm going to put these 2 together and these 2 together. So when you start 4 terms, pair them up, okay? Now this is actually a really easy factoring if you just follow along and get it. Okay, now we're going to, as we pair them up, let's just take a look at the first pair. What does the first pair have in common? They've got an A, so I'll take out an A out of the first pair. Now if I take out an A, then I'd be left with a C plus D, right? Let's look at the second group. What do they have in common? So let's take out a positive B, and I'd be left with a C plus D. Now here's what we want. We want to get to the point where we have 2 of the same. We want 2 of the same, right? So then the next question is, again, it's common factoring. What do these 2 groups have in common? So they have a parentheses, C plus D, and I'm going to cross them out so you don't get confused. I cross them out because we pull them out, and then I'm going to ask you what's left over. A plus B. That is it. That's factoring by grouping. Not too bad. Let's try a few more of these, okay? So let's go to 4, okay? Let's go to 4. Okay. So, first question. Pair them up. 4 terms, right? 4 terms. Pair them up. These 2 together and these 2 together, okay? So if I look at the first group, the first pair, what do they have in common? T squared. Let's take out the T squared. Let's take out both, as much as we can, T squared. If I take out a T squared, what would be left inside?
5 plus 6.
Now, on the second group, they really don't have anything in common except 1. Does that make sense? They don't have anything in common except 1, but I need that 1 to do this. I need that 1, so I'm going to put a 1 right here, because they do have at least a 1 in common. You're going to need that 1, because then I'm going to go parentheses and do a 5t plus 6. Now our goal is to make sure we have 2 of the same after the first step. I want to make sure we have 2 of the same, which we do. So what do the 2 groups have in common?
5t plus 6.
Yeah, parentheses 5t plus 6. And if I common factor out the 5t plus 6, and I like to cross it out because then it's pretty obvious what's left over, right? So what's left over? T squared plus 1. Okay, that's why we're going to keep doing a few more of these, okay? Okay. Let's do another. Let's do number 6, okay? 6 is a little bit easier. Am I going too fast?
No.
Yeah.
How do we check if we're
Right. So if you check it, you've just got to foil it, and it will, right? In fact, let me do a check with this real quick while Liam's catching up, okay? So I get a 5t to the third plus 5t plus 6t squared plus 6. You put it in order. There it is, right? Good question. You always ask good questions. Right? Does that make sense? All right. You're a
I didn't write that.
You're a math kid. All right. So let's check out number 6. So again, 4 terms, pair them up. 4 terms, pair them up. So let's put these 2 together and these 2 together. And sometimes we can rearrange them. If you don't like those 2 together, you can rearrange them with 2 others together. But you definitely want to pair them up. Does that make sense? You can rearrange them. And then the next one, I'll try rearranging, okay? So what do you have in common?
2a squared.
Yes, 2a squared. And I'd be left with a
6a
plus 1. You got to have the 1 there. You guys okay with the 1?
Yes.
Because 2 goes into 2 one time, plus if you want to recreate it, you'd have to have the 1 there to distribute to make it, okay? Second group, what do they have in common?
5. Negative 5.
Yes, they have a negative. In fact, we want to make the negative come out because we need to make it the same. So I'm going to take out a negative. I have to take out the negative 5. because I want to make what's inside the same, and I want to take out the negative, it'll change what's inside to positive, right? So when I take out the negative 5, I'd have a positive 6a plus 1. And by taking out the negative, it helped me make the same, right? Okay, now, what do these two groups have in common? Yeah, so if I take out a parenthesis 6a plus 1, and I like to cross it out so that you can see what's left over, we'd have a 2a squared minus 5, okay?
Okay, I don't get what we just did. Why did we do this?
Because it's factored, and so it's in a different form. So what you do is you take something, and then the question might be, why do we even factor? And if you take,
Yeah, why do we even factor?
because when you take algebra 2, one of the things we'll do is fractions. And when we factor, we can reduce fractions, okay? So in algebra 2, we'll do fractions. In real life, I don't have an answer for that, okay? Yeah, Annie.
Just gonna ask.
Yeah. Give me time. Off the top of my head, no, but I'll find something, okay? All right, let's look at number 5, okay? So when I look at 5, I might rearrange them. So you could rearrange them. You could leave it the way it is, but I'm going to rearrange it. So I'm going to put these two together, 8s to the third minus 64s squared plus s minus 8, okay? You can rearrange them. You don't have to rearrange them, but I just want to show you that if you do rearrange them, sometimes it's easier to see what's in common. It'll work either way, okay? So, 4 terms, pair them up. Okay, yep, 8s squared, right? 8s squared. And I'll have a s minus 8. These two don't have anything in common, but we could pull out a 1, right? We need that one. We need the 1. So let's pull out a positive 1, and we'd have a s minus 8, okay? And then, what do they have in common?
Everything.
An s minus 8. And what I'd have left over is an 8s squared plus 1. Okay, do you want to do one more of those?
Yes.
One more so you get the hang of it? Okay, and then we'll flip the page. And we flip the page, factoring's all mixed up, which is what it should be, so you have to kind of figure out what it is, okay? So let's do let's do 8. How's 8? Okay? Okay, what do you think? 4 terms, pair them up, okay? What are the first two have? Maybe more, maybe 6 even.
9.
No, 3. He's right. 3h squared. He's smarter than your dad. 3h squared. So what's left inside?
7h plus 6.
Okay, good. What do we have in common on the second group?
5.
Yes, how about a negative 5? Do you mind if we take out the negative? Because that'll change these to positive, right? So if I take out the negative 5, by taking out the negative, I'll make what's inside positive, which is what we want. 7h plus 6. Okay, you can see why taking out the negative was so important, right? Okay, then what do they have in common? 7h plus 6. Take it out. What's left over?
3h squared minus.
Awesome. Okay, now we're going to turn the page. So that's called by grouping. Okay, they call that by grouping. Let's turn the page and we'll see a plethora of factoring. Okay, so all right, let's go straight to number 9. Okay, all right. Okay, number 9. What do you see? A 4C? Okay, I agree. 4C. So if I take out a 4C, what's left over? Right? But this can be done again. We can factor one more time.
No, we can't.
We can factor that into C plus 1, C minus 1.
No.
Yes, we can factor that into C plus 1. So 4C, C plus 1, C minus 1. That was a double factor.
Why are we doing that on the first problem?
It's time to think.
Crazy stuff.
How about 10? How about 10? What do you see in 10?
25x squared.
Yes, 25x squared, which would leave us a,
4x squared minus 1.
okay,
Wait, I don't understand.
okay, go backwards. 25 times 4,
Yeah.
x squared, and 25x
Oh,
times,
I understand that.
okay, huh? You still don't understand it? Okay, now, can you do it again? Can you do something again? Okay, what are we going to do again? Okay, I heard 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. Isn't that what I heard? Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do 11. Okay, let's do 11. So, do they have anything in common? No. So we got a factor, regular factoring, right? I'm going to have to do the double smiley on this, though. This is going to be the double smiley one, right? So let's go straight to
Oh, so we're not doing the thing we done the last game.
it's coming.
I just got it.
Sorry, it's coming. Okay, now, what times what makes 2? 2 and 1, right? 2 and 1. Now I have to be careful. I'm going to put the 1 here and the 2 here, because with my double smiley, there's a 4 and a negative 1. And you said, didn't you say negative 1 and, wasn't that Annie who's? Yeah, Annie said negative 1 and positive 2, and you can check your double smiley,
And that's it.
and that's it. You can't do anything else. Okay. All right, let's move on down to 15. Yeah, we'll get there. We're almost there. Skip to 15.
It's the weekend. You should not.
Well, if we get it done in class, all the better.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have to work.
Well, we
Yep.
had a fire drill and that.
Okay, 15.
By Christmas.
15. 4 terms, right? 4 terms. What are you going to do? Combine. So we're going to pair them up. We're going to pair them up. Okay. What do the first 2 have in common? S squared. And what's left over inside? 3s plus 2. What do the second 2 have in common? Let's take out the negative. Yeah, let's take out the negative, because then it'll make what's inside positive, right? Negative 7, and we'd have a 3s plus 2, right? Okay, what do they have left over? Yeah.
I just have a question. Like, is the 3s plus 2, are those going to be the same for all equations? Or should we not roll?
Okay, so great question. Let me see if I can answer it. I think you said this. When you do this grouping, these 2 will always be the same. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, in fact, they have to be, because then you can't go again. So if we go back, Aiden, if we go back, look, C plus D, right? 5t plus 6, 5t plus 6, right? If that doesn't happen, then you can't factor it any further, right? And then you have to stop. So these are special problems, that makes sense? They're put together in a way so that you can do this, okay? Because not everything factors, okay?
Wait, but how will we know?
How will you know? Okay? So he asked a great question. How do you know? Okay? Oh, and Nick, while you're here, will you look at the one on my desk, please? Thank you. You showed up at the best time. So let's go and look at number 17. Now, what do you notice is different about 17?
They can all be divided by 3.
Yes. Let's go there first. Yes. Let's go there. Now we're going to go to that the second thing, okay? So say again, Ava, what do you notice?
It has equal signs.
So we're going to have an answer. In fact, we're going to have how many answers we're going to have?
3.
What?
Yeah, 3.
What?
You dose.
2 answers, right?
There's 3 terms.
Yes, but if it's, you ready? If it's x squared, 2 answers. X cubed, remember your warm-up? X cubed, 3 answers, right? Believe it or not, x fourth would have 4 answers, okay? So let's go ahead and solve it. So then, Annie, you said, what did you say? What did you say? You said 3. So take out a 3. Let's common factor out of 3. I'd have an x squared minus a 7x plus 10, right? You guys agree with that? And then what times what makes 10?
5 and 2.
So let's go 3x minus 5, x minus 2 equals 0. Okay. Now, how many x's do you have in this equation? 2. So you're going to have 2 answers. This 3 will not give you an answer. This is just a 3. In fact, if you divide it by 3, divide by 3 it just disappears, right? So this 3 is not part of it giving you an answer, just the x's. So you have an x minus 5 equals 0 and an x minus 2 equals 0, right? Plus 5 plus 5, x equals 5. Plus 2, x equals 2. Okay.
That was really
What
fast.
happens to the 3?
Oh, great question. One more time. So does the 3 have an x?
No.
So it wouldn't have an answer. In fact, what we could do right off the bat is I could just say, let's divide by 3, and it would just disappear anyway, wouldn't it?
But like you could say.
Well, you could, but you wouldn't get an answer from it because it doesn't have an x, right? Okay. Now, let's do last one I want to do, and that is I want to do number 20, okay? So in 20, you ready, Landon? How many answers?
3.
How many answers?
3.
Wait, I had to answer Josiah. 3.
Nice job, Landon. Thank you, Josiah. 3 is correct. So I like positive terms, and Zana, what you did is really cool, but I'm not going to talk. I'm not even going to mention what you guys do because it was really cool. So I'm going to bring everything over because I like a positive first term. Me personally, I like a positive first term. So I'm going to have 0 equals a d cubed plus a d squared minus a 9d minus 9 because I had to bring them over, and I subtracted to bring them over, okay? What Azana did on the warm-up is she brought things over the other way, and then she just divided by -1. But I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm just gonna keep going, okay? I like my biggest term I like to be positive. For me, it's easier to factor, okay? 4 terms. What are you gonna do? 4 terms. What are you, okay. Pair them up, right? Take out a d squared, and I'd have a d plus 1. Take out a -9, and I'd have a d plus 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, what do those two have in common?
D plus 1.
Great, so I'll take out a parentheses d plus 1 and a d squared minus 9. Now we said we needed 3 answers, right? So can we factor again? We can factor again. So we can factor that into d plus 3, d minus 3. So we'd have a d plus 1 times a d plus 3 times a d minus 3 equals 0, right? And here's my 3 answers. -1, -3, and 3. And I just solved in my head, right? I said that equal to 0, -1, -1. Said that equals 0, -3, -3. Said that equals 0. Okay, right? So, and I skipped a step. I hope that didn't confuse you, okay? I just didn't do like the d plus 1 equals 0, and I didn't do the d plus 3 equals 0. I just did it in my head, right? Okay, that's all I have. And